morning to those of you in the West Coast, and good afternoon to everyone in the East Coast and in between. This is your CX is Non-Negotiable 5-Star Secrets with me, Katie. So I'm so excited to be here today with y'all. I couldn't be here last week, and I'm so grateful to Allison and Debbie and Amanda and Melissa for taking charge, because I was hit with the worst bout of COVID. Oh my gosh, it was awful. I was down and out. There was no getting out of bed. I had zero voice. So I'm just so grateful to those ladies who brought the fire. I watched it from bed. They brought the fire, and they show that it's possible. You know, this week I was interviewed for a podcast, and it was painstakingly obvious how much the industry pushes back against daring to do something different. And the excuses that we make, those excuses are what keep us in what we call comfortable, right? That's where our nervous system decides that we should live. And when you get rid of your excuses and you step out of comfort, you take a little bit of risk, you dare to do differently, that's where success is. That's where you find your people, your culture, your process, your practice, and your profit. That is where you find guest loyalty. And I couldn't believe how much of the pushback I got. I mean, in the best way, because what it reminded me is we just have to challenge the status quo consistently in every moment. This is why Now Is Non-Negotiable Ventures exists, is because we have decided to put a stake in the ground and made the choice to stop negotiating with the future of the customers that make our lives possible. Choosing is the easy part. We all think the choice is hard, the choice to do the thing you don't feel like doing, the choice to put the culture in place, to create the practice and the promise, to design intentionally an experience that your customers want to be a part of, that your employees rally around. The choice to do it is easy. It's what comes next that is hard. And it's not that it's hard, it's actually quite simple. It just requires you to do something different in every moment of every day. And in this conversation that I had this week, I really realized that in this space, in the automotive industry, drawing that line from customer experience directly to profit is what we might need to have everyone pay attention. So there is some math around CX. It isn't just fluff. Like, I am telling you, if you want to survive the next 5 years, you better get on board with intentionally designing experiences, transforming your culture so that your guests choose you each and every time. So today, I thought what we would do is draw that line from where you are to where you need to be, higher profit, and how the guest experience can get you there. So let's buckle in. I have some formulas for you, so I hope you've brought your pen and paper. If you haven't, then grab one. Also, if you are on here live, drop your email. I actually have a one-pager with all these formulas on it. And if you drop your email in the comment box, I love it. Hey, Tracy. Yes. CX is revenue generating. Also from OEMs, by the way. They will pay you. But I do have a download for you. So if you want to drop your email in and you want to know these formulas, if you don't happen to have a pen or paper, please do that. All right. You ready to get rolling? Let's get going. All right. First of all, as I said, I welcome you back. For every one of you that comes every single week, you are the 1%. You are prepared to win. You are prepared to do what it takes to get the result that you want. And here's the truth. CX isn't a nice to have anymore. It's not fluff, and it's not extra. CX is math. CX is revenue. CX is the line between price and premium loyalty. So today I'm going to go show you how a few intentional steps in the guest experience directly translates into retention, referrals, and revenue. And we're going to unpack a formula that you can use inside of your business here today. Your customer experience that you provide provides you profit, period, full stop. And we're going to talk about this. All right, so guest experience. First of all, write this down. Every guest experience either adds or subtracts from your bottom line. Did you hear that? Every time you interact with a guest, it either adds or subtracts from your bottom line. A 5% increase in retention can drive 25 to 95% profit growth. Profit. Not top line revenue, profit. And there's reasons for this. Well, number one, happy guests refer friends. And all those referrals, they cost you nothing. I know you spend millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year marketing to get the next lead, to fill your funnel. Your current guest is your funnel. So while you have this marketing machine that is bringing in all these leads for you, don't ignore that when that lead walks through the door, now it's go time. Now it's game time. Create an experience so great that they can't help but spread the joy by referring you, where they would not even dare to shop anywhere else. That is the first way. That is the first way that an increased retention helps you. The second way is that by providing an amazing guest experience, you've got to have an incredible culture. And that incredible culture breeds happy employees. And your happiest guest is only as happy as your happiest employee. Now, I said it was 25 to 95% profit growth. You lose so much money with turnover. And by keeping your employees, because you're providing a culture they want to work in, that you're providing a culture that doesn't ask them to do the thing that doesn't feel right for them, morally, principally, haggling the guest, doing the back and forth, not providing a plus one, not creating those relationships. I mean, we're human, and humans are born to be kind, and we're born to care and show compassion. So by creating a culture that your humans can thrive in compassion and culture. So it not only helps provide this incredible experience that guests want to refer, but also internally drops a ton of money to that bottom line because your employees stay. You're not having to retrain. You're not having to spend the money on job ads and spend the money on interviewing and taking somebody else's time that should be focused on providing a guest experience. A guest who trusts you will say yes more often to you than a guest that doesn't. A guest that doesn't is gone. I've said this, and I've stated this stat, and it's probably one of my favorites because I've done it about 1,000 times. But 79% of your guests are leaving you for the competition based off of experience alone, and they are not referring you. How you make them feel dictates whether or not they do business with you. They are not buying your brand. Like, I hate to break it to you, they are not buying the brick and mortar. They are buying you. They are buying the feeling. They are buying the joy. And increasing that retention, creating more joy, that leads to 25 to 95% profit growth. All right, I am going to go through, and so bear with me. I have never done this before. I put some banners in place to help show these revenue impactors and what these calculations are. So I am going to show you here. Can you all read that? There's a couple of formulas in here. It wouldn't allow me to do it any other way, so I hope you can see it. If not, drop your email and I will send you the one-pager. So number one, revenue of CX, it's impacted by this. So you want to increase in retention times the average gross profit per customer will give you a number directly correlated to the power of your experience. Increase in referrals times the average gross profit per referral. That will also create a direct line to how an elevated experience impacts your bottom line. Increase in upsell service capture times the average gross profit or sale. All ways to show that your guest experience makes you money. There's math behind this. All right, here's another one. Retention rate. A lot of folks ask me, well, how do we even calculate retention of a customer? Well, here it is. E minus N divided by S times 100. You're like, what the heck is that, Katie? Well, E is customers at the end of the period, N is new customers acquired, and S is customers at the start of the period. Now, I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to actually throw this up right now. I'm going to create a new banner, so give me 2 seconds so you can see it. All right, here's your example. You start with 300 customers, and you end with 200. You added 75 new. Your retention rate is 41.3%. So think about this. Your retention rate is your loyalty scorecard. It tells the truth about how you are keeping your promises. If your guests aren't coming back, it's not just a number. It's feedback on your culture, on your process, on your consistency. This retention rate formula shows you the truth about the experience you're providing. If they don't stay with you and they don't refer you, then you're not getting it right. It's like, here it is. The competition out there, it's alive and well, and it's easy to find. So if you want to stand out, a diamond in the rubble, focus on your people. Focus on the culture and stop making the excuse as to why you can't. Because here it is. Y'all, what I see is up to me. What you see is up to you. It is mindset. 5-star mindset. If you want something, you have to do something different. If you want to deliver a 5-star experience, if you want the profit that comes from your customers, then you need a 5-star mindset. And a 5-star mindset, they don't make excuses. A 5-star mindset chooses every single moment to dare to do differently and to not use the industry or the circumstances as a reason as why you cannot do it. If you look for obstacles, my friends, you are going to find obstacles. If you look for the opportunities, you look for how you can do something, you look for how you can pivot, you look for ways to get your entire team rowing in the same direction. If you hold those meetings and those huddles and you hire and fire by your culture, then it's possible. I mean, there are a ton of other industries that provide 5-star experiences. I mean, spas, hospitality, so hotels, restaurants, travel, cruising, retailers, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Nordstrom's. If they can do it, you can too. The reality is you're choosing not to. You're choosing to stay on the same hamster wheel that this industry has A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through Z excuses as to why it's not possible. When I work with dealerships, dealer groups, they are the exception because they've decided it's possible. And when you make that choice, when you decide it's possible, it's easy to draw that line from the experience to profit. Because you're not going to give up until you show that it's possible. You're going to do the things you don't feel like doing to get the profit that you want. Retention is your loyalty scorecard. All right, I want you, if you're here and you're in the comment box here, I want you to Write down what's one intentional thing you can do right now to make guests come back. Think about it, drop it in, share it. As satisfied guests is your most powerful sales rep, okay, because they're free. You're not paying for them. You're not paying for their benefits, and you're not paying to train them. Sorry, y'all. My throat is still sore a little. Okay. A satisfied guest is your most powerful sales rep. They're costing you nothing if you do it right. If your average gross profit per guest is, let's say it's 2,500, and a great CX drives 10 referrals a year from that one person, that's a $25,000 pure profit, no marketing spend required. Referrals are trust on display. They're proof that the experience you deliver is so strong that people will put their own reputation on the line to recommend you. Let's stop there for a second. Everybody needs a favor, right? Everybody needs to be introduced to somebody at some point. Like, just think about business, think about friendships, just really broaden your minds to think about how this rolls in your life. If you don't trust, if you don't trust that that person is going to deliver, if you don't trust that they aren't going to disappoint your friend, manager, sales associate, whoever it is in your life that you're referring them to, you are not going to put your name behind it. You won't. There are many people that ask for things, and it is very hard to share that human connection unless it is somebody you trust and they provided that experience that says, yes, I like you, I know you, I trust you, I'm going to refer you. How many of your customers can you say that truly trust you, that will truly refer you? Referrals are trust on display. I worked with a dealer where their +1 moments, like leaving surf wax in the car of a customer who loves surfing, created a buzz so strong in the community that people were asking to buy there because they felt cared for, and they broke the stereotypical perception of the industry. Referrals don't come from overpromising and underdelivering. They don't come from gimmicks. They come from genuine experiences that stick. Hey, Billy. So Billy says here, give them an experience that will far exceed their expectations. This doesn't mean give away the entire farm. Have empathy with them. Build a lasting relationship with your guests. It's that simple. You know, people say, and I'm going to go back to this conversation I had at the beginning of this week. People say that it's too hard. The reality is it's not hard. It's a choice. And that choice might be hard to make. But once you decide you're going to do something and you make a promise to yourself, your people, and your customers, and you do it daily, you focus in the now and you stop negotiating with your future success and your customers' happiness and your employees' bank accounts, it becomes easy. It's so simple. To Billy's point, it doesn't take a lot. The best experiences are the ones that just make you feel so much joy that you can't help but share it. When guests trust you, they say yes more often. Yes to recommended maintenance. Yes to everything that you need in that F&I office and the accessories. They say yes to everything because they trust you. Guests don't say yes because of the product. They say yes because of the trust you have built. And trust comes from consistency, and consistency, that comes from making that choice every single day without exception. Making now non-negotiable, because you are going to stop negotiating with the future happiness of everyone you serve, including yourself. Leaders have a lot on their shoulders, and I get it. Because I can already hear, if y'all were in front of me, I could already hear the excuses that you're making in your head. It's saying, yeah, okay, Katie. Yeah, it seems so simple. Okay, Katie, what about the fire I have to put out here? Or what about the employee that doesn't come in? Or what about that disgruntled guest that just makes things so difficult to serve that person? What about the backlog of appointments or the rush of the service drive? I can't do it. What are you talking about? Leaders, I get it. Humans, I know you're human. You have a lot going on. Where y'all get it wrong is that you treat CX like it's optional, like it's a department. It's not optional anymore. It is not a department. It is a way of being. It is the thing that separates you from your competition. It is not something you should be humming and hawing over and saying, oh, I have to do this. I have to get to work. I have to talk to these customers. I have to do this. You should be saying, I get to. I get to serve them. I get to surprise and delight. I get to be a day maker. I get to turn someone's day around when they've come in and their back is already against a wall, and I get to show them that that's not the way you are. When you start to make it part of your culture, when you draw that line in the sand, and when you make the choice to stop negotiating with the experience of the people that make your life possible, when it becomes the thread that is weaved into every single department, it becomes the standard, that's when you get to see the profit. And only then do you get sustained loyalty and sustained profit. When you prepare with intention, when you decide you get to instead of you have to, you're not just delivering kindness, you're delivering revenue for yourselves. Retention plus referrals plus upsells, because they trust you, know you, and like you. That equals profit. And it's undeniable. And it's math. And guess what? It's in your control. You wake up every morning and you get to decide whether you show up for your guests or not. That's no one else's control. And if you're within a force of many, if you're within an organization that maybe doesn't get it, and I'm speaking to the individual, you, the individual, gets to choose to do it differently. You get to take a step back and say, I get to serve my guests. I get to create relationships. I get to deliver a +1. I get to. You don't need the entire dealership to service your customers. You don't need the entire dealership to be on the same page for you to do the right thing. Because you know what's going to happen? You're going to be the top sales associate. You're going to be the top service advisor. You're going to be the BDC. Gosh, you're going to be the BDC associate that books every single appointment every single time because they know you, like you, and trust you. And in F&I, I mean, that's where you get the biggest pushback, right? They're like, uh-oh, I have to deal with this now. The guest is already coming in with their back against the wall. Well, guess what? You get to choose to make it personable. You get to choose to create that relationship. You get to choose to make the yes easier. You don't need the entire dealership. It starts with you. It starts with one within many. It is math that you get to control. So here's my challenge to you, y'all. And every week I try to leave you with a challenge. I want you to take this formula back to your team, and I want you to plug in your own numbers. What's your average gross profit per unit? What's your service RO margin? What's your retention rate? I want you to show your people that the dollars are tied directly to daily behaviors, because preparation isn't extra. The customer experience isn't something that is optional anymore. Anticipation of your guest needs isn't fluff. And CX strategy, well, that turns the promise you're making into the profit you receive. Y'all, CX, customer experience, it isn't optional. It's non-negotiable. And that's what I have for you today. I missed you all last week. I hope this was fruitful. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you that left me your email, I'm going to send you the download of the calculations from promise to profit. It isn't just fluff anymore. It's the tiebreaker. And yes, Tracy, I don't even coin that. That's Tracy Fields. CX is the tiebreaker. It is the thing, the experiences, the feelings. It is that. That is why they choose you over the competition. And if you want to make more money, start designing your experience with intentionality, care, and compassion. Have the best day, y'all.